Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to my channel. My name is Moon. I've got a fun little review for you today. I'm going to be doing a little review of the bag I carried yesterday and the book that I'm currently reading. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. Grab a glass of lemonade, a glass of water, whatever you prefer, and take a seat and let's dive in, shall we? So this bag right here is a Speedy 25 dupe. As you can see, it has the azure print, you know, that kind of cream and gray blue print there. It looks very much like a Speedy 25. It's not a replica, but clearly is an emulation of that bag, if you will. And I got this from Goodnight Macaroon a few years ago, and it seems like they've pulled this merchandise from their website. So you would have to kind of Google Speedy 25 dupes, and you might go to Goodnight Macaroon because sometimes these bags will suddenly appear, or you might want to check back periodically if they don't have them. But this is a really good dupe. I love this bag, and I've actually used it quite a bit. Yesterday for 4th of July, my husband and I went to see a movie, Megan 2, which was really fun, and then we went out for Chinese food. And so I carried this bag for our sort of date afternoon. And it was so fun carrying this bag. It fit everything I needed for a casual afternoon out. And I really enjoyed using it. And for having had it a few years in my collection, it's in really good condition. I mean, it's great. I don't use it every day, but I have used it several times. And every time I do, I think, why am I not using this bag more? And the answer is because I'm often at work. And so I'm carrying my work backpack. And, you know, on the weekend, when we go out, I am grateful for having a decent collection of bags. So I rotate through them, and it's just fun for me to have that collection right now. At some point, I might minimize. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I'm really enjoying having the collection and using the bags. So let's take a look at what I carried with me yesterday for this date afternoon and how good this turned out to be. And there's a look at the interior. Look at that. I love that striped lining that they did with this. Usually from the actual Louis Vuitton Speedy 25, the lining, I believe, is beige and solid, which is also wonderful. But this pop of stripe, I really like. So what did I carry with me yesterday? So I carried this scarf. I was wearing a green t-shirt and a black skirt. And so I took this green scarf with me to use as a wrap in case it got cold in the theater, which I often get cold. Even on a hot day like yesterday, I still carried it, and I did end up using it after being in the theater halfway through the movie. I started to get cold, and so I threw this on, and it was awesome to have this, and it was easy to roll up in my Speedy, so I didn't have to carry a cardigan or something heavier, which probably wouldn't have been necessary. I have these bamboo Kleenex, which I've been raving about lately in my videos. I just love these because they don't give me allergies, and I prefer them to like the normal Kleenex. My mini pochette, authentic Louis Vuitton. Love this little beauty. It is amazing. You can see there that it's gotten a lot of wear and patinaed. I purchased this from Fashion File a few years ago. Love how soft it is, and it's a great catch-all for my lipstick and eye drops and other little things that I keep in here. So I carried this with me, and it was perfect. Fits so nice in the Speedy dupe. I carried a mask, which I just have the habit of doing in case you have a moment where you feel like you might want to put it on. The theater wasn't actually that crowded, so I felt very comfortable. But sometimes if it's really, really crowded, I may put the mask on. So I just keep that with me. I had my sunglasses with me, which was very important while we were driving there and walking around outside. So I had that with me. And then just a few more things. My inhaler, some mint, and some pumpkin seeds. I think, and also some sunflower kernels. I just kept this with me. We did get popcorn, but sometimes I need a little protein, so I had that. I also took a little like date with me. I've been into dates, so I ended up eating that, but kept this maybe for next time. And some hand sanitizer, always necessary. And my little Kirigami wallet, which was a present, and I love this envelope wallet so much. I've been using it a lot, although I think I might switch wallets up soon just to use other parts of my collection and rotate things. I love doing that. And I recently purchased a wallet as a thrift find, so I think I'm gonna shift into that soon. May do a video on that. Some cough drops, always need cough drops, so essential. And then finally, my AirPods, in case I needed to block out sound or listen to music. Sometimes I use them just to like block out sound if things get too loud. Okay, so there's a look at the inside. There is a little zipper pocket there, which I don't think I have anything in there. No, I don't have anything in there. But a good little bag, a great, find. And I think this was like $89 US. And so, for a speedy dupe that is actually so well constructed and is so fun to wear, I think it's such a steal. This was the thing for me with getting into dupes, because I spent a few years building my authentic Louis Vuitton collection. And I think I purchased around 25 items. Some of those were gifts from my husband for like Christmas or my birthday, some of the SLGs. I purchased a few handbags. And then I decided to buy a dupe. When I initially got into Louis Vuitton, I thought, I'm not going to get a dupe. I don't see the point of dupes, right? It's wearing the authentic that matters. But I started to look at dupes because I didn't want to continue spending so much on Louis Vuitton and luxury handbags, but also had an interest in, some of the bags I didn't own. Like this one, I have the authentic Speedy 25 in monogram print. I also purchased the authentic Speedy 25 in Damier Ebene print, which I ended up selling. And I then ended up getting it as a dupe, and I have this one as a dupe. So I'm able to enjoy these other bags while having an authentic collection, but at a much smaller cost. So I think there's a place for dupes, and that made me, think about my authentic collection. But actually, I really love having both authentic pieces and some dupe pieces. I haven't ever purchased a replica. I don't know if I would. Sometimes I have looked at the websites where you can purchase replicas.
Oh my God.
There's something about like this doesn't have the label, and I feel more comfortable wearing it and purchasing it that way, because I think there's, just a lot more questions around replicas. I think that's getting into different territory, at least for me. So I think a dupe is just a great find. And again, I can enjoy my authentic pieces, and I carried some authentic pieces in here. So mixing the two has really worked out well for me, and I encourage it. If you can't find the Goodnight Macaroon website, I would recommend I was going to say Walmart, but actually Walmart hasn't been carrying the Richport bags, which is another line of Louis Vuitton dupes. So if you look up Richports, you might be able to see where they're being sold, and if they have their own website. So that's another place, and I really encourage it because, again, it's a good way to save money while rocking the look and still have the authentic stuff. So since I kind of have veered more towards purchasing dupes and slowed down my purchase of Louis Vuitton authentic, I have received or purchased 2 items. One is a bandeau that I got in Heathrow in England when my husband and I went last summer, and I love that. I use it as a bag charm. I also have tied it in my hair. And the other is the envelope pouch wallet that I just showed you in here. So those are the only two items in the last 3 years that I've purchased as authentic Louis Vuitton. And maybe down the line I might do another bag, but I like that I've slowed down. I really like that I've slowed down in terms of that, because I'm also trying to build my savings and do other things with my cash and earnings. And, it feels really nice for me. So I just wanted to share that. Okay, and finally, I wanted to talk about the book that I'm currently reading by Peter O'Mahony. It's called Reckoning Hour. And this book is really awesome. I am reading it on my Kindle because it is an Amazon First Reads. So if you are an Amazon Prime member, you have access to their First Reads, like every month, a curated list of books. It's maybe 5 or 6 books of different genres, and you can choose one for free. I'm also not a member. I have Kindle Unlimited, like a year of Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, you also have access to the free Amazon First Reads, which is awesome. So every month they have this curated list, and you can pick any of those books for free and just keep them, which is amazing. So I picked this book, Reckoning Hour, because it was described as a thriller mystery and set in South Carolina. So I'm really loving it. And so the story is there, it's told from the point of view of a lawyer who has been living in Chicago with his wife, and he comes back to this town in South Carolina because his in-laws are having some health issues, right? So they're there for their family temporarily for a year. And while he's there, he's working with a lawyer in South Carolina that he knows and has agreed to take him on. But this city lawyer is getting, all kinds of flack from other lawyers in the area. And he has taken on this case, actually a few cases. And so if you like like a mystery thriller, courtroom drama set in this environment, I love the descriptions of setting, although they're minimal, right? The story moves, like it's really engaging. If you like that kind of story, I would recommend it a lot because I'm loving this. I would also recommend Amazon First Reads if you haven't checked that out. And I just love this little matcha Kindle. Maybe I'll do a little review on this. You can see I've got my pop socket there and some stickers on the back. So I do have the signature Kindle in kind of a quieter case, and I love that one too. But this little thing is so lightweight and so easy to carry around. And I love, because I don't have a flip cover, that I can set it so I can see my book right on the screen and whatever I was reading last. And I'm reading actually 4 or 5 books right now. But this one I would say is like the one I keep thinking about and gets me back to reading these days. Anyway, that was my little bags and book review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a great holiday weekend. If you did and you would like to like and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. It helps out my channel. Either way, have an awesome rest of your weekend, and